couple of things have happened here today at turn 3, and this time it's Richo on the inside again. Remember, he and Mark went side by side a few laps earlier. This time they do make contact. Mark's out in the grey, there's no grip out there, the car gets all crossed up, and in the process he lost several spots, notably to Russell Ingall.
Now, just a few laps later, Paul Morris had a very scary moment. Bang! On the outside of turn 1, and that is what has caused this most recent safety car period.
Pretty heavy contact there, and as is standard practice, Paul's been taken off to the medical centre, but the right-hand side of the car is certainly going to need substantial panel work. Hopefully nothing structural there that doesn't impact too much in their preparations for China. And there is the right-hand side. So sill panel, both doors. Obviously front right guard. Sorry, Greg.
No, you're right. The speed trace, I'm in the Morris camp here at the moment, the speed trace indicates that he exited the circuit at 270 k's. How about this, though? The contact with the wall, 140 kilometres an hour. Now, his words on the radio were, the damage is bad down the driver's side. You can see that now. This Queensland-based team has enough spares here, including a chassis, to completely reconstruct a car. They'll probably have to do that here in Sydney before sending the car off on the trip to China later in the week. Quick other bits of news around the grounds. Cam McConville, they've softened that car up all round prior to this race, hunting for rear grip. It's helped him pick up 2 positions. And a very deflated Jason Bright on the radio at the moment. Entry understeer, exit oversteer, not having a good weekend in the FPR camp.
Up here with Shane. Shane's alongside him. They're bumping along the straight. He wasn't in front for the control line. This is a great move by Van Gisbergen. He's going to get this done. He's played the card. He's run early. He's bumped him all the way down the straight, and he's out-muscled him. Great move, Shane Van Gisbergen.
We were somewhat mystified, wondering what was going on, and it's still going on, and he's turned him. McLaughlin has turned Van Gisbergen at turn 2. Does Shane survive that one? That's a pivotal moment in the championship.
McLaughlin will be in serious trouble over that, and a huge amount of damage for Whincup. Now, this is a championship changer, not only by the mistake and the drama we saw at the start, but the contact with McLaughlin on Van Gisbergen, and now the resultant damage on the front of Whincup. Remember, he's in second in the championship. He won't finish this race based on that.
Here's the replay of the start. This was baffling. So the contact's the part that's interesting me. I don't understand why that needed to happen. Provided there was an overlap and he wasn't in front at the control line, then Shane's allowed to be there, but the contact was weird.
Yeah, there's some dodgy car stuff going down the start-finish straight, and he was on the inside. He timed it very well, so you can see he hasn't overlapped. Well, sorry, he's got the overlap, but he actually hasn't rounded him up at this point. But he does later on. So he gets to turn 1, he makes that move. Now, this is the interesting one. Check this out. Because he brakes, he gets the car stopped, and bang.
Yeah, but did Scott have someone... There's damage on the front of David's car. So I wonder whether that happened just prior to the rotation of McLaughlin. Here we go. This might tell us. Does he get hit? No. Yep. No, so McLaughlin was definitely on his own there.
Yep. So he'll be in strife. He'll go to the back because there's heaps of gap there. That's the damage.
Right. Yes.
So they all prop up.
That was the secondary effect.
This is the visibility we spoke of, and this is the outside line. They're all in. Reynolds around the wrong way, and that was so close. That was Mark Winterbottom. They've made contact. That's Tim Slade with huge damage on the right-hand front. That's just because you can't see.
Yeah.
Visibility 0. Reynolds spun round at turn 3. There was definitely contact in the middle of that pack. Mark Winterbottom, safety car out now.
3.5, just continue on out of pit lane.
We said it was going to be wild. That is as wild as it gets when you can't see with a massive pack of cars around you. Van Gisbergen, the clear winner of the first lap.
I thought he was going to emerge in second place at turn 1, so I think what happened was he might have pinched it so tight through 1 that it slid on him, and that allowed McLaughlin to hold that position. But that's an awkward situation between Slade and Reynolds on the exit of turn 3, just at the crest of the hill.
This is the outside run. There was definitely contact there with Moffat and Reynolds. So then he's parked. We'll pick this up now, and Slade right up on 2 wheels. Wow, that is huge force.
And it's eaten the front left corner out of that car.
And that's just unlucky for both of them, Neil, isn't it? He was rotating and Slade had nowhere to go. So Tim Slade now has had more DNFs than any other driver this year. Care of Aaron Noonan's stats. And that is a very average way, given the warm-up lap for Dave Reynolds. He's had a drama on the warm-up lap and then a drama on the opening lap of this race.
He's moving it around, trying to find a way to get a better exit. This might be the one.
This is the spot.
He's up the inside. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen. He has sliced one down the inside and grabbed the lead of that race.
Beautifully constructed pass. That was the spot. For 2 or 3 laps, we've known that the run from turn 2 to turn 3 and then over the hill into 4 was where he had a gain. He backed it off early. He turned it in late for turn 3. He come out of the corner perfectly.
So this is down at 2. And you can hear Scott paddling the throttle, trying to get it mobile. Now watch the way he arcs this corner. He starts up high, cuts down low, gets the throttle in earlier than Scotty, and he's got 4 or 5 kilometres in hand when they cross the top of the crest there in the run into 4, and McLaughlin was toast.
And there's nothing between LeBrock, Heimgartner, Reynolds and Hazelwood. This is for a win for LeBrock for the first time in his career, and this is for a podium for the 3 drivers in that 4 that haven't hit the big time just yet.
Dave has a look down there. He got a better run off 3 than what Andre did. But he covered him, and now he's having a lunge down the inside. Now, what's this do for Hazelwood? Because remember, this is his favourite spot. And Dave knows it. Oh, it's a big late slide. How's the licorice strap, a wheel spin coming out of the back of that? He's giving him a little bump.
He's vulnerable. He's vulnerable. Oh, he actually cranked it sideways. This is the invitation for Hazelwood. He's down there. He gets down the inside, Todd Hazelwood. That gets him on the podium, but Reynolds has to fight hard to try and stop it. But he's actually made ground. They will be cheering at Brad Jones Racing. So he got it down the inside with about 1/3 of a lap to go. And LeBrock looks as though he survived this one. It was a big, big slide for Heimgartner coming out of turn 5. And Jack LeBrock lines it up out of the final corner after 125 kilometres of racing. Lines it up, looks at the shift lights, glimpses the mirror, and he is going to get home for his first ever victory in supercar competition.
What on, man? What on?
Jack LeBrock, Andre Heimgartner, and brilliant drive by Todd Hazelwood.
Off on the white paint and then in the grass and mud. And there are little rivers on the road. There's a problem for McLaughlin. It's dropped the right rear. After all that hard work, it's thrown the right rear off.
So that just might be, look, this is on board now. You can just see Scott battling. Be careful because you don't want to end up back on the road. So he's done a really good job there. He ended up having to go out into the grass. But this could be the result of all the frenetic activity before the start of the race.
Gone down or...
It's popped the whole tyre, wheel right off it.
And there he is. And there is the wheel and tyre that parted company from Scott McLaughlin. Larko?
Yeah, and we all know that this sometimes happens, doesn't it? You know, I was talking to Richard Holway, the engineer, that said, I asked him, was the car compromised when it went? And he said, look, mate, we didn't get to bleed the clutch properly. We didn't get to set the full throttle properly. I mean, they just did a great job to get that engine in there, and these are the things that happen.
I heard Scott on the radio talking about not being able to get full throttle in the warm-up lap. And, well, he's made it back. That's a start. But is there too much damage in that right rear? It will have given that brake rotor a fair belting, and they'll have a very close look at the right rear suspension.
Boys, I was just thinking about... there's someone on the fence there. It's Michael Caruso. I just spoke to Andrew Simpson in Autobahn Racing about that situation. I had 12 months ago in my head with Shane Van Gisbergen and Scott McLaughlin down the front straight. But I said, what was the go there with Lowndes? And they just shook their head and went, he was asleep.
Tander in the last lap. So Tander was 9th fastest, Courtney was fastest.
He's tagged him. He locked up the rear, James Moffat. He's tagged Van Gisbergen. Wasn't close enough. That's McLaughlin. Up 2 spots and a gift for Fabian Coulthard to 4th. He didn't even have to work it, and Grant McPherson frustrated. Here it is
Here we
again.
go.
So around the back of the hill at 7. And if you look at the rear of the Volvo, he just, late in the stop, he's got the rears locked and he tags the Holden in the right rear quarter panel. Let's listen.
He wasn't up far enough.
Whoa, that's Shane Price. Big impact for the Jack Daniels car number 7.
On the exit of turn 9. And depending on how much damage, this could be another safety car intervention. Can Shane get it stoked up and mobile once again? The green sector flag clears the next sector of the racetrack. Shane, the maximum opportunity to move the car. He hasn't been able to do that, so now the SC board's displayed. Full course yellow. Doesn't want the field racing past the stricken car right there. That's an awkward spot. Shane's out of it, which is good. He's all okay, but sufficient damage that we're not able to go racing, and the flatbed truck is racing out to grab that car at the moment. So Alan Gurr and Shane Price in a weird one there. I'd say interlocking wheels, and it's flicked Shane into the wall.
In front of the grandstand. The boys are doing a rides day. I think it's actually tomorrow or Monday, so they've got to make sure they don't do too much damage to this car as a consequence. But have a look at the fireworks here. Have a look at the form finish. Well done to everyone involved in making that happen, because what a way to finish what has been a stunning night race and a return to night racing in Sydney.